All right, Gemini. Gemini, August 2022. Okay, so this reading has a lot to do with someone's family. Now, it could be immediate family, your own personal family that you have created yourself. It could have to do with your biological family or tribe. There are many indications of that. The first one is your oracle card, your pure magic oracle card. It's Voodoo roots, and basically it's talking about the heritage, the family line. It's talking about your ancestral line and customs and traditions from that, and the story of all the struggles that your ancestors had gone through to get to you here in this moment now. And it's about the acceptance of their stories, whether they're, positive or negative in our eyes and our own judgment. Because, sometimes we have some tragedies and we have things that, our ancestors went through, and maybe their lives were more difficult than ours. But all in all, it's about that spiritual family that we have, and how that in itself and their stories fuel us into our future and our present here in this life. So that's the underlying kind of theme. Your Lenormand sums up a challenging message. This could be a formal letter in the mail. It's handwritten, probably, or written. It's the written word, about difficulty within the family or the line, the ancestral line. This also could be history that we're uncovering, some documentation about our ancestors. But I'm seeing this more of a challenging formal document or letter that has to do with the family or the legacy that we are having. And because the tree is there is an element of health with the tree as well. So this could be about a health issue with a family member, or this could just be from a family member. And, the tree, obviously, roots are very important for a tree. And, sometimes roots can be as big as the tree, like from the ground level going down. So what we see and what we don't see come into play as well. There might have been things that we didn't know were an underlying issue that are now coming to the surface. Or there could be hidden things that are positive and sprouting with our health or that of a family member's health. But there has been a challenging past with this. In your tarot, currently you are very torn apart about something. It's mentally draining you and frustrating you and making you feel very anxious and just worrisome, and feeling like things aren't going to get better. There's depression here. and they're crossing that depression is a card that speaks of sorrow. But the sorrow in this card, the Five of Cups, these two cards together, number one, backtracking, the Nine of Swords and the Five of Cups together, not a very good combination, I will be honest. It's stressing over a loss, feeling great despair, remorse, regret. This is probably the worst combo, I would think, in terms of despair and depression. And because we're having this ancestral element to it, it may be asking you to pray, to get in touch with your spirit guides, as we like to call them sometimes, our ancestors. You know, when we pray, sometimes it's, I mean, people pray to God, and they pray to, you know, their God from their sect, or they pray just out in general to the universe. This might have some heritage type vibes. So if you have any ancestors, any people that you've lost, if you're feeling lost now, this is asking you to connect to your loved ones that have passed and have gone to the other side. I do see there's a lot of family here. I have a family card. I have a family card. I have a Lenormand card. I have quite a bit about family and love here. I do have these two incredibly sad cards in the middle. Don't like to see those, but the Five of Cups is in reverse. It's crossing you in reverse. So I see the Five of Cups as more of an acceptance. It's feeling sad, for sure. Things have spilled, whether they spilled on the ceiling or they've spilled on the ground, they're still spilled. But this is more of an accepting the loss and kind of going through that grieving stage. So you are now accepting that things have been really bad, and something bad has happened, or whatever, or you've got some challenging news, and now you are on your way to dealing with that emotionally. Your mind may very well be still rattled if you are going through this. Now, not all of you are going to be going through this that watch this video. This is a general reading. But if it pertains to a situation in your life or a circumstance you're dealing with now, just hear it out and we'll keep going. But if it does, I'm really sorry, because this is a very challenging energy. But you are accepting this. You finally have come to terms, or starting to come to terms with this. It's not an easy energy. And of course, I have one more really crappy energy to talk about before we get to the good stuff. What you're aware of is there's been a painful ending. There's been a betrayal of some kind. There's been some... So the Nine of Swords here is very like worrying about something that could happen. Here you're aware that something has happened. So I think that you mentally are currently mulling over and worrying that maybe you're beating yourself up because you've accepted this and maybe other people haven't. Or you think it's not normal that you're starting to accept this about this situation in your family or within this dynamic. The loss and the pain and the betrayal doesn't come easy. You know, this has been a long cycle. you've kind of taken a step back in dealing with, like, if this was in the center of your reading, you would be like, all right, it's over and done. Like, stick a fork in it, it's done. This is the dead horse, we don't beat this anymore because this is completely done. Whatever terrible thing that you were worrying about did happen, and you're still kind of in that mindset of, oh my God, well, this is horrible and I have to deal with this, and but I accept it, but it's just not ideal and not very nice to deal with. In the past, there was this beautiful, lovely energy of the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, I'm sorry if it's not very clear. It's a little dark in here. The Ace of Cups is the kind of seed of love, like the sprouting of a new emotional kind of spark within us, like a newfound love for something or someone. There's potential there for things to really emotionally kind of mature within a relationship, within a talent, a creative talent, or a dream, or there's just something there that it's a birth of a baby. It's some new beginning that's beautiful, like a new start in a relationship, a new job that you're passionate about, that you really have your heart and set in. There was something beautiful in the past that you were very happy about, but it seems that right now things have gone the other way around, and you are accepting it, but still devastated. We'll say that. You're on your way to full acceptance of it. What you're not aware of, you're not aware that you have a choice. That there's maybe two sides to the story. That there's still love here. If this is about a relationship, a personal romantic relationship, you're aware that something's ended, but you're not aware that there was another person involved. That's one way this could go around. I'm not saying that's for everybody, but I really do feel like a lot of you're not aware that you have a choice in how you deal with this, whether you accept this or not, there is choice there. In the future, I see things looking up. However, I see it not being exactly the perfect picture that you had painted in your mind, or that you had your heart set on, but it is nearly perfect. But we'll get more into that in a minute. Your advice now is to move forward out of a difficult situation in hopes to find something more calm, more peaceful, something different than you've experienced here. Calmer waters. Your advice could literally be to move house if you were living in a situation that's sunk. Just had its it's sailed its ship to due course and is ready to port and move on. So that is your the water here is emotional, and back here he's leaving stormy waters and going into calmer waters. So to get yourself to a more emotionally balanced and calmer state by moving your mental energy and focus towards something else. You're being seen by others as being kind of smug, maybe, and victorious in a way. So this can be taken a number of things. So you could be satisfied with an outcome or a new beginning, a situation that maybe they see you as being happy with the way maybe they see you as being happy with this new start. Maybe they see you as being satisfied with getting... There's a gratification here. There's an indulgence here. Maybe they see you as indulging your own thoughts or indulging a new start. But I almost see this as like you putting on a face. They're seeing you as being happy that you're able to start over again. I don't think you're letting on that you're really having a hard time with this or haven't been showing people. And so they're reading you as being happy with this new beginning or this enlightenment of the situation for whatever reason. The Nine of Cups is also the wished card. A wish that began with a new idea. Wishing for a new start. People could be seeing you as wishing for a new start, or wishing for an idea that would come to you to help you move forward to a better situation and overcome. Wishing to overcome is another interpretation of that. So what you're worried about, you are worried about what other people are thinking. It seems like you're worried that they will see you as being victorious, being champion of the situation. And you don't want them to see you succeed. You don't want them to see you as the victor. Or maybe they, because it's in the reverse, which I normally don't read this card this way, but you don't want them to see you as the one that lost in the situation. You're embarrassed by the eyes that are on you following a battle. This could also be that you might have had some interesting dynamic with a partner, and you not wanting it to go public. Or maybe you want somebody's kind of their scene, their moment to be exposed. You want it to be exposed to the public as after this battle. Like, you want them to be seen for being invictorious, or being the winner takes all kind of person. I don't think that really matters necessarily in terms of what other people are thinking or seeing, because it seems like they're seeing somebody as getting their wish fulfillment and being victorious, and I think that's, or just being satisfaction with a new start. So maybe you're upset about that they're seeing this other person that's been in your life as being more satisfied with the way things have been, and having a new perspective on life or on the situation. Both are completely valid. I think that sometimes when things happen in our life, we might not be the Kardashians, but sometimes people see us. People see us, and they see what we go through, and it's a vulnerability. That's what it is. You are fearing being vulnerable to the eyes of others within this context of this situation. The valiant soldier comes home from battle and is embraced by the town on a sunny day. Maybe this is a battle you just wish to kind of go quietly. And that's another thing. The Six of Swords and the Ace of Swords here, I do a lot of adding in my readings. 6 and 1 is 7, and the Seven of Swords is kind of an out of the box or different way of looking at something. It's unusual, taboo, can be even sneaky. So maybe there's like this part of you that wishes to crawl under a rock and not talk about this win that you're having. This win could be totally separate from the relationship ending, by the way. It can be maybe you found a new person and the situation ended, or something ended within the family, a family dynamic, and you've moved on and are doing well, and other people in the family might be seeing you as doing well, getting what you want, and you almost don't want people to see that because you don't want to hurt anymore. You've accepted that this has happened. The situation has been challenging, or there's been some loss of emotional loss here, but you don't want to necessarily have it greet you on the phone every day. You don't want it to show up in your day-to-day world through the mouths of others, through people's comments. You want kind of your privacy, If you have lost a child or were unable to conceive, and you'd made the choice to go forward with other methods, there is delayed gratification here, and there might be a slightly more difficult recovery period for you, but it will turn out in your favor, but through multiple attempts, probably. Um, I see you being on the defense in the end. I do. I see you being very battle worn. You've come home from battle, and maybe you struggled with something and nobody really was there for you. Maybe that's what the acceptance was. Acceptance over the lack of emotional support that you were hoping for within a difficult situation, difficult ending. And there being, if you come from a dysfunctional family, this is could very well be the case, that they haven't been there for you, and you've gone through something challenging, and now you've accepted how they are, but you still feel like you're alone and your guard is up, and a really difficult cycle is nearing the end. This challenging written communication could have had to been with your health. And if that's the case, then you will be in a recovering period and will be happy with how things go in the future, but it will just take a while to recover, and you might be feeling very tired. This is a card of being very tired and just having struggled for a long time and are finally almost to the end of a difficult cycle, and are just like, what's next? Like, I can't take any more. But that's a good card because it's nearing the end of a cycle, and this will be over soon. And he's looking down at this difficult ending, being like, all right, I know you've been there, you're happening, or you happened, and I'm ready, but I don't want any more challenges. I think I've had enough. I'm very tired. If you had a child with this person, if this is a romantic relationship, just give me 1 second. You might have a child, but your family is pretty dysfunctional, and you just have been putting up with them because you're trying to keep the peace, even though you accept that things are not the way they should be. It's your choice. Just always remember, you have a choice. No matter what happens, make a million decisions a day. There is an impasse here. I do see that as an underlying card, the Two of Swords. The world being underneath that. So the impasse comes to a completion eventually. A choice is made, whether that be having to do with a difficult health situation. A choice is made to move forward and to progress towards a better life. Decision might be made with a family member saying, I can't deal with this anymore. This is just not going to, or I know where I stand with you and how it's always going to be. With a lover, it could just be the choice to move on. Get out of there. But there is happiness. Whatever seed was planted in the past wasn't just for nothing, because there's a progression here. We have the 1, we have the 5, we have the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 and the 9 of Pentacles are two of some of the best minor arcana card you can get. And with the Ace of Swords next to it is victory. So the future, other people even see you in the future being very successful and very content and emotionally reaching a new chapter in your life, completing the old story and moving forward happily ever after, really. And bay leaves on the wreath, there's more of a wish as well. It's like drawing down energy from above, a gift from the universe. So you get what you want. People see you getting what you want. You might not be happy about how things went down initially or right now, but things do get better, and much better. All right, Gemini, I hope you have a great August, and I will see you in September.